Two Gays Watch a Movie!
With Arron Holman.
And Zacary Landalt.
I think that works. Hi! Oh my God, I didn't know you were here without a stitch of makeup on. Hi, I'm your host, Arron Holman.
And oh gosh, I'm your other host, Zacary Landalt.
And today we are watching Drop Dead Gorgeous. Drop Dead Gorgeous is a 1999 American black comedy, mockumentary style, film directed by Michael Patrick Jan and starring Kirsten Dunst, Ellen Barkin, Brittany Murphy, Allison Janney, Denise Richards, Kristie Alley, and Amy Adams in her film debut.
And just in case it's been a while since you've seen this comedy classic, here's the story. Drop Dead Gorgeous follows the contestants of the Sarah Rose Cosmetics Mount Rose American Teen Princess Pageant.
The ultimate in teen glamour.
Held in the small town of Mount Rose, Minnesota. The contestants are a colorful collection of ladies, including Amber Atkins, played by Kirsten Dunst, who's an optimistic tap dancer who signs up to compete in the pageant so she can follow in the footsteps of her idol, Diane Sawyer.
Living in a country where no matter who you are or where you come from, you can grow up and become what you've always dreamed of makes me, Amber Atkins, proud to be an American.
Rebecca Lehman, played deliciously by Denise Richards. She is the daughter of the richest man in town, and her mother just happens to be Gladys Lehman, the head of the pageant organizing committee and a former winner of the pageant herself.
I chose Mount Rushmore because to live in a country where you can take an ugly old mountain and put faces on it, faces of great Americans who did so much to make our country super great, well, that makes me Rebecca Lehman, proud to be an American.
The athletic and competitive Tammy Curry, who's also the president of the Lutheran Sisterhood Gun Club.
Tammy Curry, and I'm signing up for the pageant because of scholarships and all. This one's for varsity soccer. I'm captain. I run track, and right here, I'm the new president of the Lutheran Sisterhood Gun Club.
Lisa Swenson, played by Brittany Murphy, a quirky girl who lives in the shadow of her brother Peter, who performs as Eliza Minnelli impersonator in New York.
I'm Lisa Swenson, and I am proud to be an American because living in a country where Lady Liberty always keeps her flame burning bright. She always keeps her flame burning bright. Makes me proud to be an American. God.
Leslie Miller, played by Amy Adams, a perky and extremely horny cheerleader.
The Washington Monument makes me, Leslie Miller, proud to be an American.
And several other ladies whose talents include dog bark impersonations.
My uncle builds world's largest ball of twine in Bundy, Minnesota. It makes me proud I'm American. I kind of misunderstood the assignment.
We quickly get the impression that most of the girls expect Rebecca Lehman to easily walk away with the crown. Amber wants to give her a run for her money, but after the mysterious deaths of contestant Tammy Curry and a boy who favored Amber over Rebecca, she grows fearful of sticking out too much. Both deaths are deemed accidents, and it's clear that the local police are in the Lehman's pocket.
Foul play? Shit, no. After some extensive investigating, we determined that it must have been bad wiring.
Bad wiring. That's the biggest crock of shit I ever heard.
Amber becomes even more sure that Rebecca is out to get her after her trailer is blown up, nearly killing her mother. And a contestant named Janelle, who swaps performance order with Amber, gets hit by a stage light during her rehearsal. Janelle is knocked unconscious, rendering her deaf. Luckily, Janelle is a master of American Sign Language, so she claims that despite dropping out of the pageant, she's never been happier.
At the pageant, Amber's dance costume mysteriously goes missing, leading to a heated fight between her and Rebecca. The pageant choreographer then gives Amber a new costume to perform in. However, she is told by Gladys Lehman that she cannot perform in her new costume as it needs to be approved weeks in advance. Fellow contestant Lisa, feeling bad about the injustice and knowing she doesn't have a chance in winning, gives Amber the costume from her talent, one that's already been approved for performance. Amber then performs her tap dance number to a standing ovation. Rebecca sings a cringeworthy rendition of Can't Take My Eyes Off of You as she dances with a life-size Jesus doll, both amusing and horrifying the audience. When the winners are announced, cheerleader Leslie Miller is named second runner-up, Amber is named first runner-up, and surprise, surprise, Becky Lehman takes first place.
But during the victory parade the next day, Becky is killed in a freak accident when the elaborate swan float she's riding, one which is made in Mexico to save her father money, it bursts into flames and explodes. Gladys then flies into a blind rage and admits to having killed Tammy and to being responsible for all the attempts against Amber, and is immediately arrested.
I never liked her, but she didn't deserve to die in the belly of a swan like that.
Rebecca's death, while tragic, does mean that Amber is the new pageant winner.
At the state competition, Amber wins the Minnesota American Teen Princess title by default after all the other contestants fall ill with seafood-related food poisoning, and Amber gets an all-expenses-paid trip to the National Sarah Rose American Teen Princess pageant. Though upon arrival, Amber and the other state winners are devastated to find that the cosmetics company has been shut down by the IRS for tax evasion. This sends all the contestants except Amber into a riot. They destroy and vandalize the now empty cosmetics company.
A few years later, Gladys escapes from prison, promising to take revenge on Amber. During a police standoff, a television reporter doing a live report at the scene is hit by a stray bullet. Amber quickly picks up the reporter's microphone and takes over reporting the story, impressing the news station and landing her a job. The film closes with a scene showing Amber as a co-anchor of the evening news for the Minneapolis-St. Paul television station WAZB-TV, thus living her dream of possibly becoming the next Diane Sawyer.
Oh gosh, I love that for that girl. She's such a good one, that one.
And who doesn't love Diane Sawyer? I mean,
And who doesn't love Diane?
who doesn't want to be Diane? That's what I said to myself.
I tell ya.
All right.
Wow, this movie. So you were very excited to talk about this movie.
I love this movie. It's one of those movies that when I discovered it, I was like, oh, this is made for me and my people. Yeah, that's what I literally felt like, because everyone's at that, like, doing a character to like the nth degree. Everyone is just unbelievable. It's like close.
There's not a dud in the
not
picture.
a single one. And in fact, it has stars in just like super small roles. So yeah, this is a movie that I was very excited for. Always have been.
I definitely watched this when I was younger. I never owned it or anything. I don't think it was a little too adult for me to own. I think that's what it was. But the reason I loved it is because it is like a dirtier, darker teen comedy. Like it feels a little more adult than, say, like Clueless or Can't Hardly Wait or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It had more edge to it.
Mm-hmm. And yet still kept it really light. Definitely was still more teen comedy than any dramatic thing, because I mean, I can't believe that they even killed people in this movie. I remember the first time I was watching it, and 20 minutes into it, who's the character? Tammy. She like explodes on the tractor. I was so taken aback by that moment the first time I saw it, where I was like, are they doing this right now?
Yeah, I forgot how quick that happens because when I was I haven't watched this. I've watched here's the thing. I love this movie, and there's so many amazing scenes from it. So I probably watched scenes from it on YouTube like all the time. But actually, from start to finish, probably it's been maybe at least 10 years since I watched it, and I forgot how quickly she dies.
I feel like this, for me and my friends growing up, this was one of those movies that we would put on at sleepovers, or just like hanging out for the afternoon or whatever. I mean, we had a couple movies that would rotate through, and this just happened to be one of them. This, Camp, a couple other ones, Chicago, Into the Woods, but
Chicago,
Into the woods. Into the woods they go.
Into the woods with that Bernadette Peters.
All right. So something to talk about with this movie is it has a brilliant cast. I mean, these people were so young. Let's start with our favorite, Kirsten Dunst, or at least she was one of my favorites.
Kirsten? Oh, Amber Atkins?
Oh my God, Amber.
Oh, I love her. No, like, well, because I have a deep love of Kirsten
I
Dunst.
do
I think she
too.
is very underrated in the industry, even though she's been great forever, like since she was a child.
Mhm.
You know, you think about interview, you think about Interview with the Vampire, and she's so great. And that was when she was a child,
Yeah.
and she's so funny in this. I remember I in my research for this, I found out that Melissa Joan Hart auditioned for Amber, and I'm like, that would have been like nothing like what Kirsten did. Come on.
I absolutely agree. I love Melissa Joan Hart, but this was not her role. Where for Kirsten, it really truly, I think it put her on the scene, for the first time as an adult, or
And it showed her comedy chops, I think, because she really gets it.
oh yeah, she knows that
She
she
gets
is
the
insane.
tone. Yeah, she gets the tone. And she doesn't seem like, sometimes you watch movies where there's a really strong tone to a film and there's a younger performer, they can tell they don't know how to perform that tone, but they're like directed into a performance that like won't stick out, whereas she is very intelligent as an actress and as a comedian with how she plays it, because I mean, Amber is, I mean, she's kind of white trashy, but it's like what I kind of love about her. And I love that she doesn't like, she both is aware of how trashy her mother and her life is, but then she also has these little moments where
She has a lot of innocence still to her.
yeah.
She's white trash, but with a heart of gold,
Yeah.
which is the name of my new novel.
White trash. Gold. Maybe some fake gold, counterfeit gold.
Well, listen, whatever.
Also, of course, Amy Adams is first film.
That's so crazy.
And
Really?
she's so good.
Oh man, she's stunningly beautiful. But she filled this role easily. What could have been like forgettable. This part could have been nothing, but she really makes it something. I don't know. She brings a level of horny, fun energy.
And she just has that, like, you could just tell she was going to be a star.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She
She
commanded the
just
scene.
pops off
Yeah,
the screen.
she really
She
did.
pops off that screen.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it has another one of your favorites, Brittany Murphy.
Oh my gosh, she's the ultimate favorite of the pod.
Oh,
She's
I
in
love
all
her
of our
so
movies too.
much.
She's somebody who we've had this discussion about where it is so tragic that we lost her, because
Oh,
she was somebody who she fit, or she was able to like mold herself into being a perfect fit for almost every
yeah.
role I've ever seen her in. Even
Agreed.
in this film, where dare I say, she's the black sheep, but
Yeah.
she's so cute as this musical theater loving nerd, Lisa Swenson.
Yeah.
I really identified with that very strongly. As a kid growing up, musical theater was my jam. And so I saw a lot of myself in her, I don't know, manic, insecure self.
I see a lot of myself in her.
I really did.
Also, yeah, I agree, because she can do something like this and be so funny, but then I think about her in Girl Interrupted, and she fits in to a serious drama like that, like no problem. She's amazing in that as well.
Mhm.
So it's just always, every time I watch her in things, I get so sad, because I just wonder what she had left to show us, because she had so much talent. She was so funny.
I just fell in love with the Big Apple last summer when I was visiting my brother Peter there. He followed his dream all the way to New York. Wait. Here's Peter as Liza. Here's him as Madonna. As Barbara.
She should have done more comedies, but she also is such an amazing dramatic actress. She can sing. Like, it's a shame we lost her. Ugh, not to linger.
It's such an interesting. I think of her, and then I think of the male counterpart. We lost Heath Ledger, and I dare say,
I put them in the same thing.
They could have gone on to. I mean, they had a long career ahead of them if they wanted it.
I mean, she was 32. She was younger than me. Like, that's insane. Yeah. But also, so it's like, here's the thing. I love this movie. Have not watched it in a long time, and I always knew this person was good, but I forget how amazing Denise Richards is in this movie, because
she's next level.
If you could be any tree in the woods, what kind of tree would you be?
One with strong roots in a community like Mount Rose, a solid Christian trunk, and long leafy branches to provide shade for handicapped kids on a hot summer day.
She perfectly okay. Oh, you told me about the part that you loved with her. We.
Oh, I'm gonna do it.
I
I know it. It's the part she's sitting there and she's loading her rifle and she must be at like hunting practice or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's the documentary guy and he's talking to her. It's so short. It's just a look. But he goes, so Brett just got shot in the head, and she goes, he did? Well, hunting's dangerous. And then she like shakes her head and smiles like a maniac. And then she goes, so anyways, my mom bought me this gun for my 16th birthday. Oh.
Just like no expression change. Just like, really? Well, hunting's dangerous.
Well, hunting's dangerous. And then she waits. She does that beat and then smile, which I swear to God, it's like a Cheshire cat smile. Like it is a huge smile. Or how about when they go to the hospital to see Mary Johannesson?
One of my favorite scenes.
She goes, she's skinny, Amber, not deaf.
See, my favorite part of that, she's like, when the girl's like, who are you? She's like, who am I? Oh, Mary, you crack me up. She does this every time I come. Who are you? Who are you? Same dippy little expression on her face.
Who are you?
Way to go, Rebecca. She's anorexic. She's thin, Amber, not deaf.
And see that right there, like, okay, that right there. I don't know if this film would be able to get made nowadays.
Oh my God. It would definitely.
For what they did with the character of Mary Johannesson alone.
Yeah.
She's the current reigning, what is it, Mount Rose?
Mount Rose American Teen Princess?
Yes, Mount Rose American Teen Princess. And what is even wrong with her? Do we know what's wrong with her? Or is it just like she's sickly?
Okay. I'd like to put a blanket over this recording and say this movie is so ridiculous, and if I'm not laughing at the things it's making fun of, but it's just so stupid. It's like I don't know. I think it's, but I just think it's hilarious that I'm not saying eating disorders are funny. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, that is what it was. Yes.
It's an eating disorder. Because do you not remember the sign at the hospital?
There's they have the bulimia
a whole wing
center.
Says eating disorders.
Yeah, eating disorder, the bulimia clinic or whatever.
Oh my God. And just her like with her like oxygen. I was like, I was so excited to meet Crowd last year's Mount Rose American Teen Princess. Oxygen mask. Because she also, that girl, I know her also from the other kind of dark comedy classic of this time period, Sugar and Spice. Do you know that movie?
I don't. I've never seen that.
Oh my God. It's all these cheerleaders that rob a bank wearing like president's masks. And she was like in that one, she was like the white trash girl that like went hunting and stuff and was like really like down home country. And so I forgot she was in this. And so it was a treat. It was a treat. And of course she has her amazing Don't Cry Out Loud number.
Her wig looks fabulous in that one.
Oh my God.
I also just kudos to whoever's pushing her around because the choreography is on point. That moment is unreal.
Oh yeah. So I know for both of us, it would be erasure to not include at least a moment for Kristie Alley, who, though it's clear she was not doing that much of a performance in this movie from her recent activity online, I can't lie and pretend like I don't think she's hilarious in this movie because
she was a very good fit. She was a very good fit. I believed her in the role. Again, like you said, come to find out that may not have been so much acting, so much as just being. But I will
maybe we were just observing.
Yeah, I will say this though. She brought it together in a lot of ways. Denise's mother had to be someone stronger than her, and I think the performance that she gives in this was one of her best.
I also heard that she studied Frances McDormand's performance in Fargo for the accent.
I can totally see that. That works for me.
She has one of my favorite lines, though.
What is it?
It's the beginning of the movie, and it's when they're doing because it's a mockumentary, of course. So there's a part where they're showing like the video for the Mount Rose, like the intro, and there's supposed to be like more to the intro, and something like cuts to like something that's like not the tape, and then Kirsten was like, "Well, now the tapes are gone forever."
I know what moment you're talking about.
Why don't you come up and get some coffee and bars?
There's a moment that she does. There's a point where they're like going at the store and she parks like in a handicap spot or whatever. And she just goes, "I'd move the car if a cripple came." And I always thought that was really funny because it's one of those things that you can't say that. You can't like act on that and can't be that person. But in the context of a movie for a line that was written, it's fucking funny to me.
And I also love when she's oh my god, I love this movie. After Denise Richards does her number with Jesus, which like, voice of an angel, that one. And then she's talking about her cool, like, I made these culottes and I can safely say they still fit me today. And then it cuts to Elsa's like, yeah, she had a fat ass then, she got a fat ass now.
Oh, it's so very true.
And speaking of the supporting ladies, there are so many funny ladies playing the adult women.
Yes, there are. My absolute favorite one is, of course, Allison Janney, because she has always been, for me personally, just like a huge idol when it came to acting. Because I just thought she was just, I don't even know, just the funniest fucking thing ever. But her and Ellen Barkin, like the chemistry that they created together as Annette Atkins and, their characters together, phenomenal. I couldn't wait for those two in a scene together.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, the mom when she's in the hospital, and Amber is like trying to tell her she doesn't want to do the pageant anymore, and then she goes, "Oh my god, she's pregnant!
She's pregnant!"
Oh,
I also love when she finally goes, "I'm gonna quit the pageant," and then suddenly the mom just like hits her in the head with the can.
Yep. Also,
like,
Allison Janney yells at her. She's like, "What?" And she's like, I know you heard me. I was just trying to scare you into not quitting the pageant." Allison Janney. Allison Janney, by far, though, is my favorite character in this. She has all of my favorite lines, which is there's a moment where she goes, "Oh, are we on Cops again?" It's the first time that the documentary crew shows up at the Atkins house.
Yeah.
And they're looking through the window, and she just looks out, and she's like, "Oh, are we on Cops again?"
Are we in Cops?
Also, she has
it's front page news. One of them takes a shit.
She also has the line that, again, I don't think many people could pull this off and still be charismatic, but she has a line where she says, "Once a carny, always a carny."
Oh yeah. Once a carny, always a carny. I also the part where when the trailer gets blown up and Kirsten Dunst is like, "Mom," and the firefighter's like, "Oh, are you Kim?" And then Allison Janney's like, "No, she's some kid with Tourette's saying mom. She's family, dipshit." I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I also we will be doing a reading for these people, but Nora Dunn and Mo Gaffney as the state pageant showrunners, Colleen and Terry, they are a late, it's like a third act, little duo, but I forgot how funny they are in this damn movie, and they might be one of my favorite parts.
Absolutely.
I can sum up our entire philosophy with this glass. I can look at it and say it's half full, which in the beauty pageant biz means, where the hell is my waiter? Stop with the friggin' Marco Polo, or I'll come over there and rip your fat little heads off.
I have a question for you, Zach. Now, we went over, the plot of this movie, and what's really interesting about it is, in the beginning, they really give us just a lot of, background on these characters. Like, the first pageant set that we just see the ridiculousness of this one specific Mount Rose town that we've, zoned in on. But as the movie continues on, we move on to the next part of the pageant. Not only are there more deaths, but then there's, the seafood explosion, that horrible scene in the hotel where they're all projectile vomiting.
Such a twist.
Yes. But my hot take on it is I don't think that they knew where they were going with this movie. And dare I say, they had no idea how to end this movie. And so they just ended it. I think because I forgot until they were going into that last pageant after the seafood thing and Amber moves on to the nationals. I forgot that the place shut down. You know, when the girls showed up and like, it's like, oh, tax evasion, and it shut down. I don't know. I'm gonna call it a cop out. I think that they had really brilliant characters, but I don't know if they actually had a place to end this.
Interesting. I didn't get that same thing. I took a different thing from it. I always took it to mean it was sort of, I mean, I don't know if it means this, but it was like a way of Amber had to like earn her future and not have it be like handed to her on like a silver platter of like a pageant. And it was also like good things happening to a good person finally, because if she had actually competed in that, I mean, even that state level pageant, she was about to lose.
Yeah.
And so it's like she finally had like her stroke of luck. But also, I don't know. And I guess there's no way to know without just interviewing the screenwriter, who, by the way, did you know she's in the movie?
No, who is she? Where?
She is the really quiet female judge that's on the judges panel for the pageant.
Oh my gosh, like the third judge, not one of the creepy men.
Yeah, she was the one woman. Also, but it's funny you mentioned the ending though.
Yes.
Because there was a change in the ending.
I read about that, but go for it.
Yeah, the original ending, Gladys committed suicide in prison, and the sniper part still happened, but it was the librarian who they show in the first part of the movie when she's a former Mount Rose American Teen Princess.
Oh my God, that really weird like butch lady?
Yeah, the older woman, like, I was the first Mount Rose American Teen Princess. And then it had really negative like test screening reactions. So they swapped all that.
Oh, that's so weird.
Because to me, outside of like one, just thinking it's cool that like Amber kind of not earns her future. She didn't like prove anything, but like she gets her own future without having to be like,
going towards the future that she actually wants. You're right. I guess
and she didn't have to like.
I wanted more of the beauty pageant. You know, I was in it for the gowns and the hair and you know, the swimsuit competition. I guess.
The reason I think it was planned, and you know, who knows, is because even when they're at the state level, they're already sort of planting the seeds that like the company has not been like paying their dues they're supposed to and like taking care of things. And that to me, this is like foreshadowing that things are kind of crumbling apart with the you know, the cosmetics company. And also just I love a fake out because I think films don't do them enough anymore.
Okay.
Because I love the idea that it's leading up to this pageant and then it's just like, oh, it's been they're shut down. The IRS ceased everything. I just found that so funny when I was a kid. So maybe I just overlooked it.
I don't know. I guess maybe it was just how I didn't have these thoughts when I was a kid watching it. This was definitely just watching it back this time. I will say, upon watching it back this time, my absolute favorite part of the whole movie is it has to be Denise Richards.
Oh, she was, yeah.
She was just like something else. I mean, Kirsten Dunst was really funny too. I thought that her character was great in that.
She's kind of the straight woman.
Yes. But she worked at the mortuary. So like everybody who died, including Brett, who she was like in love with, she had to do his makeup while prepping for the talent show tap dancing. You know, it's just like,
yeah, she went through a lot.
Very surreal. But Denise Richards, it was her killer instinct, like that sharp razorness to her. When they ask her the question, what kind of a tree are you? She says, one with strong roots in a community like Mount Rose, a solid Christian trunk, and long leafy branches to provide shade for handicapped kids on a hot summer day, which is so funny because they make fun of handicapped kids throughout this whole freaking thing. The very next line comes from Brittany Murphy, and it's, you guys know that retard's pants are open? And it's like,
God. I have to say, I hate the R word. I
I
really
do
hate
too.
it.
I do too.
But there's something about this movie that and the reason I don't like get upset is because I don't think these people are supposed to be politically correct in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-mm.
And I think they're actually supposed to be kind of trashy and like, oh god, like they're they're just a little grimy with
They're a
morals and
little
behavior.
they're a little rural, I would say. You
Yeah,
know.
they're not they're not thinking about things being offensive. But I love it. I also what part was it I love? Oh, when Rebecca comes home and she's like, "Oh, a camera crew and me without a stitch of makeup on." I mean, here's the thing. Rewatching this, Becky Lehman is like the kind of character I just love. I love vicious, egotistical girls that get their comeuppance at some point, but they just get to live in this fantasy world of
Okay. Okay, there's two other things I need to bring up too. Okay.
Please do it.
One of the the judges panel.
Yeah.
Okay. Great for the woman, great for the first guy, but you know what I caught this time? The guy in the middle, the one who they always like imply like a perv.
Yeah.
His name is John Doe. The character's name is John
Doe, like
Dough. And I was like, that is the most inside thing I've ever seen. And when they're asking
it's
him
such a
like
throwaway joke.
They're like, have you ever judged anything? And he's like, nope, never judged anything in my whole life. Nope. No, never been around kids. Nope.
Never been around little girls.
Never been around little girls. Never within 15 feet of them. Nope, never. And it's like, I don't know if that character would happen nowadays.
Yeah, the one that I find the most offensive, if you want to say offensive, it's just a stupid movie. But Will Sasso, who plays the brother of the one judge who,
oh my gosh, he's epic in it.
Oh god. Yeah, it's definitely like, oh man, yikes. I don't know if you could do
He like
this now.
almost always has like a chipmunk face, you know, like
God, I don't think you could do that now, but I will say he commits to that physical comedy when he's like stuck to the truck.
Yes.
Come on, that's stupid. Also, I just love the girl that does all the dog impersonations.
Oh man.
She's wild.
Intense. Yeah.
She is wild.
Yeah.
I love a character like that. You know who that reminds me of?
Who?
Did you ever watch Scream Queens?
I did.
Oh, do you remember the girl that was obsessed with like scented candles?
Yes.
It gave me that kind of energy.
I can
like
feel that. That is like the same kind of chaotic.
Just like chaotic, weird, just like committing to weird, and you know what it is? It's a performance that has no vanity, and I love a comedian that will just give themselves over to the character, and she was.
This movie's full of like those throwaway moments.
Oh yeah.
I think my favorite one is from Allison Janney. It is towards the end of it, and it's when she's still traveling with Amber to the other pageant, and she says she's on TV, and
oh my god,
she looks at the TV and talks to Lynette for just 1 second, and she goes, I got some. Like,
I got some.
It is hands down my favorite moment of the whole movie because it's so funny. It's so funny.
Also, you know, it's another thing that it was one of the things I laughed at the most, and it's such a tiny, tiny moment. It's when Ellen Barkin is, first of all, drugged up to even be in the audience for the talent show.
Yeah, hope it's over before the pills wear off.
Oh my god. And when Denise Richards gets through like the first couple of lyrics of her song and it cuts to Ellen Barkin, she's like, oh shit.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Because she's performing like
too good to be true.
Yeah. Oh.
Can't take my eyes off of you. It was so bad, and just I fucking love it. It's everyone's great. Like there's no one in this movie that doesn't shine. Like even like Like Tammy is not in this very long, but she is. She's a whole
I
character.
knew who Tammy was. You know,
Oh
I
yeah,
was like, I know.
well, she's the
Tammy.
president of the Lutheran Gun Club.
She was very proud of that one.
Let us never forget that Becky is vice president of the gun club. A very key moment. Yeah. Oh, did you see who I said was originally going to be Annette and Gladys?
Mm-mm.
Goldie Hawn and Sigourney Weaver went after those parts.
Or
they were sought after.
Oh my God, Sigourney.
And can you imagine Sigourney Weaver as Gladys? That could have been great.
But you know what? I would have rather seen, and this has nothing to do with like the politics of it or whatever, but I would have loved to seen Sigourney Weaver try for the mom to be Kristie Alley's role.
Well, that's what I meant.
Oh.
Yeah, Gladys Lehman.
Oh, shoot. I thought you were talking about the ones at the end.
Oh, no, like Goldie Hawn was they wanted her for, I think, the Ellen Barkin part, and Sigourney Weaver, they wanted her for, Gladys Lehman.
Mm-hmm. And see, I would have loved that.
I think Allison Janney was always Allison Janney.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just cut through all this.
Yeah.
But the thing is, as much as I would love to see Sigourney in the movie and love to see Goldie, I also kind of love that lesser known people got to be these parts. Because especially Goldie Hawn, who's not in this, especially Allison Janney.
This was a big one for her.
Big one, and she says that it is still her most recognized performance by fans.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, more than West Wing, more than anything else, she gets Drop Dead Gorgeous all the time.
It's because it's so quotable.
And she's so funny. Every fucking thing that comes out of her mouth is a laugh riot.
Mm-hmm. And it really... I think that really relies on her being funny. Not that it was a very well-written role either. It's like she transformed the material.
Yeah, but also it's a really good script because I think all the characters are so clearly drawn that unless you're just a bad performer, there's a lot to play with here. Mm-hmm. For every character.
Yeah.
Because I remember I read that Lana Williams, who was the screenwriter and was also in it, she herself was also a contestant in local beauty pageants. So, because this feels like someone who knows this world.
Yeah. She
knows these people. Some of the stuff is actually very accurate. It was nothing in my hometown was to the level of this movie in terms of being awful, but there were definitely some local pageants that were small town pageants. That's all I'll say. Like you get what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Just we're like, wow. And yeah, so I'm glad we have such a lovely comedy skewering local beauty pageants, and especially in the Midwest.
And it still feels like also still feels like a love letter to it, much in the same way like Best in Show and a couple other movies. Yeah. I love
Goffman.
Yeah, I love these mockumentaries. They're always
I definitely feel like this was sort of slightly ripping off Christopher Guest a little bit, but I also love it so much that I'm like, it's fine.
I can feel that. I can totally feel that. Mm-hmm. They still did the work.
Not a rip-off, because actually, I guess this isn't the same thing, because I found out a lot more of this was scripted than I remembered. For some reason, I thought it was like a lot of improv, and I'm sure there are improv moments in this for sure. But I know Christopher Guest's movies are purely improv, whereas this actually had a very detailed script. But I do think that's what makes the actors so good, is because it somehow still feels spontaneous, even though it's very scripted.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really into it.
I love this movie. I think it would be a good time to move into our acting, unless you have anything else.
Please. No, I guess the only thing I would say is it was just so nice to see so many future famous young ladies all showing versions of what make them great, like even this young. Like you think about Amy Adams, their first movie, and she just already pops off the screen.
Yeah. Kirsten Dunst, Denise Richards, Brittany Murphy. I mean, just turning it out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love it. And it's just so many women. I'm all about the women and the fact that the women outweigh the men in this. And the women are in charge. Like the men are kind of used for their money or power, but the women are running the show.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And that's what I love about it.
I can totally feel that.
Mm.
Even going so far as like being the ones to commit the murder. You know,
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
like crazy.
Yes.
I love this movie.
I do too. Well, should we, go into a two gays acting?
I think we should. I'm going to get into my character a little bit. If you would tell the fine folks at home what we're going to be doing.
Yes. Now, there are many, many characters we could have decided to portray, but there were two that stuck out that we've mentioned previously, which were Colleen Douglas and Terry Massey, which are the Minnesota American Teen Princess State Board and owners of the Minnesota Modeling Academy. They come in late in the film, and this is just a little taste of the wacky personalities that these two women have. And Arron will be portraying Colleen, and I'll be portraying Terry. Are you ready, Arron?
I think so.
All right, let's go.
Okay, ladies, listen up. I'm Colleen Douglas, and this raven beauty on my right.
I'm a mirror.
Correction. This spunky monkey on my right is Terry Massey, and we're your Minnesota American Teen Princess State Board.
We're also the co-founders of the Minnesota Modeling Academy. Applications are at the Tiki Bar. We'll waive the $50 application fee if you list a friend and put her address.
That's right.
Due to budgetary cutbacks and the fact that Nationals won't cough up a damn nickel this year, you won't be staying overnight. So pay attention. You got about 8 hours until showtime.
I can sum up our entire philosophy with this glass. I look at it and I say, it's half full, which in the beauty pageant biz means, where the hell's my waiter?
Oh, yeah. You'll tell him, Colleen. Oh, I love it.
And scene.
Don't you just want to live in those ladies' brains?
For an hour I do. For like 3 hours I could chill.
One of my favorite moments is when all the girls are starting to throw up, and the one woman says, "Get a doctor," and the other one says, "A doctor? Call an exorcist."
Oh my gosh! Like that's not the answer
movie
at all.
Are you totally pleased that we talked about this movie?
I am drop dead pleased. I really am.
Drop dead pleased.
I love this movie so much. But there's something that we have yet to do. Every episode, we rate our movie on a highly intelligent, very scientific gayometer. Gayometer, honey. The movie is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the most straight.
Ew!
And 10 being the most gay.
You know what? Peter's gay.
Gay!
Or, to explain it using examples from Drop Dead Gorgeous, 1 is getting killed in a hunting accident, and 10 is your gay brother who performs as Liza Minnelli in New York City.
Oh my God, Peter?
Oh, Peter. Oh, it is Tina's Barbara, too.
Okay. Oh my God. That moment, it brought me so much joy to watch that this time. Just like her having so much pride in her gay brother, who's a drag queen in New York, who always said he was the one with the talent. All right, I've had time. My gayometer's been inserted for approximately a minute.
Inserted.
So I think the temperature's good. I'm gonna check it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there it is. All right.
Oh, there it is.
I am gonna put this movie on a scale of 1 to 10 gay. Liza Minnelli. Honest to God, this movie's it's a 9. I'm gonna say 9.
9?
Yeah, I'm putting it way up there, and I'm gonna tell you why. Number 1, the topic. It is about beauty pageants, but it is a farcical take on beauty pageants. It's more about the Minnesota stage moms, and I'm just wondering what straight person is watching this.
Not that many, Terry.
I don't think that many, Colleen. I think,
I tell you what.
I think it's just mainly for the homos
Oh, it's the moles. It's the moles and the hags.
Oh, it's for the moles and the hags. Yeah, so I'm gonna put it at an 8. On top of that, we also had Tammy, who is a lesbian. I mean, albeit maybe closeted lesbian, but she's a lesbian.
Oh, Tammy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, and then just the strong female women. I'm giving it an 8. This movie's pretty damn gay.
Pretty damn gay. Yeah, I would say all the Minnesota, the pageants, all those fierce, funny ladies. You got the Liza Minnelli.
Oh
You
my
got
God.
the gay brother. She loves her gay brother. You got, oh God, you got all that tap dancing. I'm gonna say I'll give it a solid 8.
Yeah, it's
So 2 8s.
because I'm in my mind, this movie wasn't made for straight people. I don't think,
No.
right?
No.
What? This movie's not made for them. This movie was made for the gays. Totally.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like the reason this movie wasn't a failure. Like, it didn't make a ton of money, but it made like enough money that was a respectable amount of money, but it wasn't like a huge hit. And I feel like the reason it has such a staying power now is because of the girls and the gays. We see what, and also it holds up, because I was kind of worried to watch it again, because I hate it when you thought a movie was hilarious when you were younger and then you watch it as an adult and you think, oh, this is actually not that funny. But this was actually
What I think this
is
movie
actually better than I remembered.
Mhm.
Actually,
What I think this movie
I thought I remember there being more like duds in the cast, and I didn't see a dud.
There wasn't. A movie like this, it ends up feeling to me like a time capsule, a time capsule piece. They chose Mount Rose, Minnesota, and that is what we got. We got all the good, the bad, the ugly of this one small town. Yeah, I think this movie is one that will last for a very long time. I always personally thought that it was just like a cult classic film anyways. But
yeah. Well, I just thought it was I thought it was more like a failure. That,
me too.
But again, it didn't make a ton of money. But the budget was like 12 million. I think it made like 40 something million. So
hey, that's
they made
pretty
some
damn
money. They
good.
didn't lose any money. It was fine. I think for the time, I think maybe the biggest thing I kind of get the impression was that they said it was a little too dark for whatever,
especially with that original ending.
Oh my God, it's already dark now, but I think that's just bad marketing, where they thought, oh, let's market this to all the teens, and I'm sure there are some teens that love this movie, because I know I did, but it's actually more of an adult comedy.
Oh, 100%. I don't think it's for teens.
Yeah, teens.
I definitely watched it though when I was a little kid.
Oh, I was watching wildly inappropriate things when I was, especially 99. Yeah, I was watching horror movies. I was watching American Pie movies. Ugh,
oh my God. I thought about how many times I've seen those and like, what the hell is happening?
Jesus Christ.
But that's a topic for another day.
Yeah, another day. That's another day, Terry.
As you know, I'm Arron Holman. If you want to follow me, I am on all my social medias at AWholeHuman. You can follow the podcast at Two Gays Watch a Movie, or you can support my other podcast at patreon.com/I2I podcast, or just, I don't know, send me money.
Send me money. And I'm your other host, Zacary Landel. You can find me on Instagram at Zacary with no H, and on Twitter at Zacary with no H. And you can follow the pod at Two Gays Watch a Movie on Instagram and at Two Gays Watch on Twitter. And we also have a Facebook page. So be sure to let us know how you're liking the show. Give us any suggestions.
Rate, subscribe. Make sure to tune back in and let somebody know about the show.
Come on. Yeah, as we're growing, if you're loving the show, if it makes you giggle, if you could take a second, just let us know on iTunes. It really helps out. And because we want you all to love us. We want your approval. Please.
Listen, they're skinny, they're not deaf.
They're skinny, Amber, not deaf. Love it. Well, I'm glad we got to travel to Mount Rose today.
Oh, me too. It was just fantastic.
Oh gosh. Well, bye.
All right, bye.